With an estimate of 7 billion people in the world, 4 Montclair students decided to take a closer look around them. Up next on Carpe Diem.
The following episode of Carpe Diem is produced by advanced television students in the School of Broadcasting at Montclair State University. And now your host, Danielle Pino.
Thanks for joining me today on this special edition of Carpe Diem. I'm your host, Danielle Pino. We'll be exploring consumer behavioral patterns on diverse topics such as the truth about breakfast, communities in need, and much more. From the cobblestone streets of Italy to the hustle and bustle of New Jersey, I dove into Italian culture on both sides of the world. As many would have guessed, food and wine is the heart of their culture, no matter where you live. But what makes them different? We'll travel around to discover the similarities and differences between the two. Bon appetit! I was lucky enough to explore Italian culture on both sides of the world. I was able to get the perspectives of Italians in Italy as well as Italian Americans here in the US. Let's take a look at what unites and separates the two.
Food is not only related to nutrition. Of course, food means feeding. So food is important and must feed you, must feed your body, keeping it healthy. But also must feed your soul. You gather around the table, you share the food, and you share whatever happens around you. You share the feelings, you share the project, you share your fears. Everything happens around the table. That's why it's so important. For the Italians, it is still very important to gather around the table with family and friends. Very, very important. It's the clue of the day.
Food really is what connects family. We generally, around the holidays, will sit at the dinner table for hours upon hours. We take, breaks, but we always go back to that table where we all talk about everything. It's not just eat dinner and then get up and leave. It is something that starts in, at early afternoon and continues for several hours. It's not anything that's rushed. It's a place where we sit and discuss everything with each other. Food is what brings us together as a family.
Holidays were very special for us. We all got together, all in a round table, and the food was the primary focus of the day. That was the whole inspiration of the day, was the food. And of course, the wine also. We drank wine because it was part of our culture. We drank wine to enhance our food and to make our food more pleasant.
As many would have guessed, food is the center of Italian culture, no matter where you live. But how the food is purchased is very different.
I go shopping every morning, and in America it's very difficult because of the size. Here it's easy. Here we have this easy way to maintain this culture just because I walk to the market or I walk to the supermarket. I can even walk to an olive yard. It's about a couple of kilometers from here, just a walk there. So it's easy for the size, for the shape, for the territory. It's easy. For you Americans, it's difficult for the size. It's not that you can walk into the countryside to buy some good eggs. Impossible. I can.
We Americans don't have the ability to be able to just walk down the street to the farm, get fresh eggs, get fresh fruits and vegetables, as the Italians do, and cook their dinners with what they purchased that day. We basically have to go grocery shop, or I grocery shop once a week, so that I have all my produce and my meats available to me, so that when I come home from work, I am able to just make my dinner.
Wine plays a big role within Italian culture, but the reason it's so influential differs between Italian Americans and Italian natives.
Il vino ha influenzato la cultura italiana molto.
Wine has greatly influenced Italian culture. One reason being the fact that wine is used in our religion. So being Italian, we can say that Italy is a predominantly Catholic nation.
Ha influenzato perché comunque
Wine is a holy drink. It's the blood of Christ. The wine making and the wine drinking is inside the fabric of the society. It's not that we go out to drink wine, but drinking wine is part of the daily life. I started to drink wine if I was a little child, not drink a glass of wine, but just get used to the taste with one drop of wine into a big glass of water.
Wine, of course, in Italy has a religious aspect to it. It's tied to the church. People drink it there as a tradition with the church, with themselves, and also to feel better. We're over here, why we don't associate wine tied to the church. Wine is just a pleasant food that we have with our meals, and we enjoy it. And that is the difference between Italy and the United States.
che all'inizio è stato diciamo un rapporto grande perché comunque
Christianity has always played a big role in Italian culture. Now it's a little less. Now with development, with the times that have changed, I think that this relationship has weakened and it has lightened. But still, it's always a part of Italian culture. Yes, it is a part of Italian
però
culture.
comunque fa parte sempre della cultura italiana, ecco, è una parte della cultura italiana.
Italians all over the world share a common bond, and that is family. With this, Italians will always have something to look forward to at the dinner table. I know I've heard so many contradicting statements about breakfast. What should we eat? When should we eat it? So we're busting those myths about breakfast with health promotion professionals and students. Learn the facts. Today, we're breaking breakfast. Take a look.
I spoke with members of the Health Promotion Center at Montclair State University to get the lowdown on breakfast.
One of the biggest myths about breakfast is that if you skip breakfast, you'll lose weight. So that's not true, because usually what happens when you skip meals is that you end up eating more in the middle and the end of the day. So you'll have a bigger lunch and a bigger dinner, and you'll just end up consuming more calories than your body needs. So eating breakfast helps prevent that, because you're full in the beginning of the day and you can have a steady intake of calories throughout the day.
I hear I don't have time for breakfast, I don't like it, I'm fine without it.
I do know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm not really sure why it is though.
It's called breakfast because you're breaking the fast of that long night's sleep. So you've been asleep for 8-9 hours, so you need to break the fast and have something to eat.
Because your brain runs on glucose. So when you wake up in the morning, you've spent however many hours you have without feeding your brain. That could be up to 8 or 9 hours without that glucose. So when you do wake up, you want something, especially if you're a student and you're going to be thinking early in the morning, you want something that your brain can kind of absorb and use as fuel. So breakfast is a good solution to that.
So it's a good idea to get your nutrients from whole foods versus supplements or shakes.
We're talking like whole grains, some kind of lean protein like eggs, maybe a handful of almonds. And what these will do is that they'll help you feel full, so you're not going through your work day or your school day thinking, oh, I can't wait till lunch, I'm starving, because that's a huge distraction. And so breakfast helps fight that off and helps you keep focused.
And now, we're diving into the minds and stomachs of the students at Montclair State University to see how much they really know about breakfast.
Every morning, I usually wake up, make myself some eggs, a lot of carbs. Yeah, it helps me get me active during the day, stuff like that. Glass of milk usually does me good.
Breakfast is very important because have you ever gone to class, didn't get breakfast, and then you're growling, and then the teacher asks you a question, you're not paying attention because the shirt looks like a watermelon and you're hungry, and everybody just reminds you of food. And some food that doesn't really work with you, and then now you want to throw up, and you don't even have anything to throw up. So always eat before you go to class.
One thing about MSU is really cool. If you check out Sam's Place, one of the dining halls on campus, you can get breakfast, lunch, dinner there any time of the day, up until 9 o'clock at night during the week. Yeah, so usually for breakfast, I'll have try to have eggs or pancakes. Bacon, I love bacon, it's great. Just stuff like that. Or sometimes I'll make an omelet. However, I don't have breakfast every day. A lot of times I'm just running towards my class. I'm in a hurry, don't know if I have a time, so usually I just have like a quick snack in my room or something like that. But if I get out to Sam's, it's great.
I know I always try to make time for it because I sometimes forget to eat during the day, so at least I know I started the day off with a meal. I think it's probably important because it boosts your metabolism, it starts your day off. I work out a lot, so I think it's important to nourish my body properly so that that stuff doesn't go to waste and that I take care of myself because we're in college and some people don't do that.
I should be eating breakfast because that's what my mom tells me to do every morning, but I don't. And it's more of just the sugar part than I should probably be eating the more healthier things. But like you probably know before that, it already starts boost your metabolism, whatever. But sometimes I wake up at 11 and I don't want to eat breakfast. I really want a sandwich at 11 o'clock. I don't want cereal.
So for breakfast, I eat cereal and milk, and then on the side, I eat apples and pineapples for fruits because it's a good source of vitamins and all of that.
So I think the most important thing to remember when you are eating breakfast is even if you don't have time or you perceive that you don't have time to have breakfast, just to have something. So whether that's a piece of fruit or some trail mix or a little bag of dry cereal, just as long as you're having something in your stomach, that'll help you to stay focused throughout your morning. I always think food first instead of supplement or something that's mimicking the nutrients that are in food. You're not going to be able to sustain a diet like that where maybe you're just having 2 shakes for breakfast and lunch and then you're able to eat your 3rd meal. You'll definitely lose weight, you'll see results, but that's not something that's sustainable when you go back to eating food. So I just grabbed some yogurt, some Greek yogurt, which is especially good because it has extra protein in it, and I ate that when I got to work.
What I like, usually my go-to is a bowl of cereal with unsweetened almond milk, and then I'm pretty big on almonds, I talk about them a lot. And then I like to have a spoonful of almond butter with some cinnamon mixed in and a banana with that. Kind of like a spin-off on banana and peanut butter.
So no matter how busy your life gets, always make time for breakfast because it really is the most important meal of the day.
We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be highlighting an independent statewide organization that is making communities a better place to call home.
Mike is so gay.
I know, we totally need more gay guys on the team.
Yeah. All the gay guys are at the Division I schools, though.
Can you believe that fag?
You think he knows?
Do you think he knows that we know?
Should we tell him?
Yeah. Hey, did you hear about the new lesbian girl?
Yeah, I have homeroom with her. Her skin is so clear.
All lesbians have amazing complexions.
The New Jersey Public Interest Research Group continues to develop practical and effective solutions to issues plaguing communities. We caught up with the NJ Perk chapter at Rutgers Newark to find out how they're making a difference in our community.
In my experience, no matter what kind of person you are, there's something you could do to make a real difference, have fun doing it, and learn a lot. I graduated from Rutgers in New Brunswick about 3 years ago. I studied African humanitarian work and American studies. I was a PERG student intern and volunteer back then, chapter chair of the Livingston campus. I've graduated, now I've been a campus organizer for the last 2 years, and so my job is to help make an impact on the issues while training other students how to make an impact and develop as leaders as well. We're a student-directed and student-funded nonprofit organization, and we work on everything that stands up for the public interest against powerful special interests. So special interest isn't a term that we use a lot nowadays, but we work on issues, political issues, social issues, environmental issues, consumer protection issues, higher education. It covers a lot of different things, but basically standing up for the public. A big part of our goal is to make an impact on the issues, whether it's political, social, environmental issues, but also a really big part of it that I think differentiates it from a lot of other organizations is that we focus really heavily on developing student leaders as well. So that whatever field our students decide to go into, we're creating a generation of people who have the ability and the skills to look at the world around themselves and challenge what needs to be challenged and work what needs to be worked so that we can make a positive change at the same time.
My name is Alex Wright-Yosian. I'm a finance major. I'm a freshman here at Rutgers Newark. I'm the campus chair. I also run a campaign called Our Democracy, Our Voice, and I'm the lead coordinator for that. And I also serve on the state board. Well, we were founded in 1971 by Ralph Nader, and we're responsible for things like putting expiration dates on food and mandating seatbelts by law. I got involved this semester through my fraternity, Alpha Phi Delta. We're required a certain amount of community service hours, and I happened to be in my accounting class, and Crystal came, our campus organizer. Crystal came to make an announcement about Our Democracy, Our Voice. She handed out petitions, and I happened to be sitting in the back of the class, so I got her attention and said, I'm looking to get involved. Could you make sure to get in contact with me? I did about an hour of phone banking, and the next day I was called back for a press conference regarding public transportation and how, today's youth is less oriented with cars and more with public transportation, and how we should shift some tax money towards improving that as opposed to the roads and highways. So that went well, and then from there it took off. I stepped in as the lead coordinator for Our Democracy, Our Voice the next week, and it's something you can really see the dividends. With the amount of work you put in, you can really see how much you get back.
I think that there's a lot of benefits to an organization like PERG. First of all, we constantly work with other organizations as well, both on campus and off campus, to foster a marketplace of ideas, which is just so important for a college experience. School and academics is obviously an important priority when you're here, and that should never be forgotten. But there's also a lot of skills that you can gain from working within an organization to gain that leadership experience, to learn how to work with other people, how to run effective meetings, all kinds of things like that, those skills, as well as the skill of just volunteering and making a difference and thinking about other people. We like to work with other people to foster those constant discussions and intelligent debate. The ideas of civic engagement is something that should be a little bit more a part of our community than it currently is. And I think for young people, we're kind of in this phase in our generation where we're torn. We've got the social media, so we're in this generation of we have a lot of feelings about our government and our politics and a lot of distrust. But we are starting to think that the government could potentially work. As a generation, it seems like that's what the polls show. We have a little bit more faith in our government than previous generations have. At the same time, we've also got way more distractions. Everybody's on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram and Snapchat and all the other million things. And we can use those to our benefit, or we can use those to distract us. So I think either way, we just have people start talking about things at the very least.
I think the fact that we can, really make a difference. We're student run and organized, and we're all educated individuals that are concerned. You know, the people that show up on a consistent basis do care about the topics at hand and want to make a difference. And you can see, based on our track record, if you will, that we have had some outstanding successes, and I'd like to continue like that.
I feel really good about what I do when I come to work every day. I feel good because I get to see a difference in students almost immediately. I've had students that said that they've been changed to find out what they have the ability to do and get past being shy sometimes and find out how much potential they have and how much power they have. So seeing people fully realize how much power they have is an incredible experience. And then working as a team is also amazing. We sometimes work really, really hard. You could be exhausted, but when you experience that together, it's definitely an important level of bonding. That comes from being able to make some really major change and point at that and be like, we were part of that. It's a good feeling.
Passion sometimes comes from the most unlikely of places. Let's take a look what happens when two theater lovers try to raise awareness for naturally grown food.
What kind of things can you get at Genesis just besides the food? Listened to that little tiny voice and it commanded me to be a part of the natural world. So how did you first join the community-supported garden if you didn't think you liked vegetables? So Whit and I went to Montclair State University together, and we studied theater. And we were graduating school, and during school we had created work similarly with interviews and putting it together. And we really liked the process and enjoyed it, and we thought it would be something we'd like to do after school, traveling across the country.
Then we graduated, and I joined the Peace Corps, and so I left for 2 years.
And I did some other things, and I was an apprentice here at the community supported garden at Genesis Farm. And it was an amazing transformational experience where I feel like I really grew as a person a lot, and I really connected here so much. So then Whitney came back from the Peace Corps, and we were talking about doing this traveling and creating work. And there was a meeting here at the farmhouse, and it was to plan for the year. But there wasn't that much planning that happened. It wound up being a circle of people in the living room talking about why this place meant so much to them. And there was laughter and tears, and I called Whit, and I was like, Whit, we need to do the show here.
And I was like, okay. And then we moved, Katie physically moved to the farm September 1st, but the project, we started it, well, really right after that, but moved to the farm, started interviewing September, and we interviewed people, and we eventually got actors on board, and from there we started doing some workshops, rehearsals, just once a month for a day here with the actors, and then they moved to this place, to the farm, April 1st, and we devised this performance based off of the interviews that we took. So that's the journey.
And then I started to volunteer here, and I found myself having a hard time leaving the fields, you know? I loved it all. I loved weeding. I didn't want to go. I just got absorbed. So.
And we've been recently using the term docu-theater when people ask, what is this? Because it's a play, but it's got that, someone said, journalistic aspect to it last night. And we've all had training kind of in that, reading a play that's not your typical sort of la-di-da. It's more of a circular structure, and it's got truth in it, and there's social, real stuff going on in the play. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I don't know who said it or who's quoted it before, but it's an old quote that says, art is a lie that's showing you the truth. But in this aspect of art where we're actually using truth to tell truth, which is it's in an artistic way. And I guess this whole the docu-plays is a new thing.
No, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, that's my favorite marble. Like, if you don't want it, I want it back. And then I'd be like, oh, no, actually, this is your strong soul
and community and love and commitment and friendship and a place of like belonging and being really comfortable.
It's just a connection that encompasses all those things that I just said.
And so I'd have a perfect marble in my pocket, and people think, oh, perfect. And I'd be like, oh, here's this one that you like better. And I'd be like, yes, I got my marble back.
So all of the words that we used tonight were actually words that people said during their interview. We did not add anything
like
at all.
We added
like the and.
Maybe.
But like really, like the and.
Yeah.
So even the ums and the pauses were from the interviews. So it was just providing that space, asking questions. People just wanted to go there, it seemed.
Sometimes it surprised me how like open people were in sharing things about their lives. And some people I had spent a lot of time with, and some I hadn't. And there was a point in each interview where I feel like people really relaxed and we were just like meeting like soul to soul or person to person.
I think we all feel really welcome here and just we all feel like we've known everybody here forever.
I always love seeing it roll and twist and turn into some unexpected direction that you would never think of a marble doing. And so for some reason, I've never related this marble story to my life until this moment.
Being able to feel happiness when it comes to you, and feel sadness when it comes to you, and feel whatever when it comes to you.
And accept it.
I love acting because whoever's words you're saying, it's your job to identify with that person and to understand how they feel that way, and that's genuinely them.
Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his own individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity." We hope to inspire individuals to better the world that you and I live in. So what are you doing to better your community? For more information about Carpe Diem, you may contact us at 973-655-5158 or email us at carpediem@montclair.edu. I'm Danielle Pino. Thanks for watching.